Welcome to our special podcast episode celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm Gabriela, and I'm joined by my co-host Carlos. Today, we'll be exploring the rich tapestry of Hispanic heritage, its historical significance, and its profound impact on American culture.
That's right, Gabriela. Hispanic Heritage Month runs from September 15th to October 15th each year, and it's a time to recognize and celebrate the contributions of Hispanic and Latino Americans to the United States. Let's start by diving into some history. Gabriela, can you tell us why Hispanic Heritage Month begins on September 15th?
Absolutely, Carlos. September 15th is significant because it marks the anniversary of independence for 5 Latin American countries: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Mexico, Chile, and Belize also celebrate their independence days during this period. This month-long observance began in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson and was expanded to a month in 1988 by President Ronald Reagan.
That's fascinating. It's clear that Hispanic heritage is deeply intertwined with American history. Speaking of which, let's talk about some key historical figures who have made significant contributions to American society. One person who comes to mind is Cesar Chavez. Gabriela, could you tell our listeners about him?
Of course. Cesar Chavez was a Mexican-American labor leader and civil rights activist. In the 1960s and 70s, he co-founded the National Farm Workers Association, which later became the United Farm Workers Union. Chavez fought tirelessly for better working conditions and fair wages for agricultural workers, often employing nonviolent tactics inspired by Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr.
Chavez's work truly exemplifies the impact of Hispanic Americans on social justice in the United States. Another area where Hispanic influence is undeniable is in the arts. Can you share some examples of Hispanic contributions to American culture, Gabriela?
Absolutely, Carlos. Hispanic Americans have made enormous contributions to music, literature, visual arts, and cinema. In music, we have icons like Selena Quintanilla, often called the Queen of Tejano music, who helped bring Latin music into the American mainstream. In literature, we have writers like Sandra Cisneros, whose novel The House on Mango Street is now a staple in many American classrooms.
Don't forget about the visual arts. Artists like Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera, though Mexican, have had a profound influence on American art. And in cinema, directors like Guillermo del Toro and actors like Rita Moreno have broken barriers and earned critical acclaim.
Absolutely right, Carlos. The influence of Hispanic culture extends far beyond the arts, though. It's deeply woven into the fabric of American life, from food to language to traditions. For instance, foods like tacos, burritos, and guacamole have become staples in American cuisine.
And let's not forget about language. Spanish is the second most spoken language in the United States, and many Spanish words have been incorporated into everyday English. Words like fiesta, siesta, and adios are used commonly by English speakers.
That's so true, Carlos. The influence of Hispanic culture on the United States is truly profound, but it's also important to recognize the challenges that Hispanic Americans have faced and continue to face. Issues like immigration reform, discrimination, and economic inequality are still significant concerns for many in the Hispanic community.
You're absolutely right, Gabriela. While we celebrate the achievements and contributions of Hispanic Americans, we must also acknowledge these ongoing struggles. It's crucial for all Americans to work towards a more inclusive and equitable society.
Definitely, Carlos. Hispanic Heritage Month is not just about celebration, but also about education and promoting understanding between cultures. It's an opportunity for all Americans to learn about and appreciate the rich diversity within Hispanic cultures.
Well said, Gabriela. As we wrap up our podcast, what would you say to our listeners about how they can celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month?
Great question, Carlos. I'd encourage everyone to explore Hispanic culture, try new foods, listen to Latin music, read books by Hispanic authors, or attend local cultural events. But most importantly, take time to learn about the history and ongoing experiences of Hispanic Americans. Engage in conversations, ask questions, and be open to new perspectives.
Excellent advice, Gabriela. And remember, appreciating Hispanic heritage isn't limited to just one month. It's something we can do all year round. Thank you all for listening to our Hispanic Heritage Month special. We hope you've learned something new and are inspired to explore more about the rich tapestry of Hispanic culture in America.
Thank you, Carlos, and thank you to all our listeners. Until next time, adios.